Hi, welcome to Ikate's Crossing. Now, there's a animal. Let's show all our tarot and oracle animal decks, right? So I was having a look at Honeylou's one, I think, and there was somebody else that was doing it. So anyway, I thought I'd show you my animal decks, mystical creatures, animal and mystical creatures. So I was having a look through, and now there's a lot of tarot decks that do have animals in them. Okay, they might not be particularly animal decks, but they do have animals in them. I haven't included all of those types of tarot or oracle decks that have maybe other things and animals are sort of in the background or something like that. I haven't worried about that too much. But let's have a look. Now, this might be something that you hadn't really thought about, is the Flower Child Tarot. Now, I know it's got a lot of people in it, but the reason why I call this an animal tarot deck, whoops, and I've just dropped one of the cards. Hope it's not the one that I want. Okay, so the reason why I call this an animal deck is because of the Fool. Now, I should have got this out to begin with, shouldn't I? Now, I know there's not a lot of animals in here as such, but there is a frog in quite a bit of it. In quite a few. There's a lot of frogs. Oh, there's a mouse as well. And I know there's sort of fairy energy. There's a cat. Not a lot of animals in this, but I don't know, for some reason when I think of animals, I think of this one. Oh, there's the Lovers. There's the Magician. There's the Hermit. Three of Wands. So you can see there's a number of frogs in this deck. And that's why I think of this as sort of an animal, fairy. Oh, there's the Devil card with two. So you can see there are a few cards that actually have frogs on them. Not a lot, but I think that's sort of the main. Oh, there you've got your Seven of Swords. Oh, there we are, the Fool. That's what sort of made me think of this as an animal deck, is because there is a lot of cards that actually have frogs in them. So yeah, I know this is not strictly a animal deck, but definitely has that theme of more frogs in it. So just an example of, even though a deck might not be classed as an animal deck, it definitely has, oh there we are, Seven of Wands. It's got a good number of cards in them that has one particular animal. There's a few cats and that in there as well. I'm not going to go through all of them, but anyway, so just give you a clue. Definitely feel as though, even though this is not really strictly an animal deck, it does definitely have all those frogs in it, so it does give that appearance of being a somewhat animal tarot deck. So yeah, now I did drop one of these cards, and I don't like to leave them out. I'm sure I dropped it. Oh, I don't like to leave a card out. That was the Hierophant that actually dropped out. So yeah, definitely animal. I class it as an animal tarot, even though it's not strictly an animal tarot, but it does have all those frogs in it. Now, so many. Where do I start? Okay, I'm going to start with Nigel Suckling's Dragon Tarot. Now, this is a sort of a pip. It is sort of a pip deck, even though there are, and it's not a strong, even though it's called the Dragon Tarot. Doesn't really It's got a few dragons in it. And it definitely has that theme. See the pips there. It's the Ace of Wands. Cups. So yeah, this is I don't know, I quite like an animal deck that's not too much animal, if you know what I mean. I don't know. I like the Dragon Tarot though. I mean, there are some amazing Dragon Tarot decks out there anyway, but I do like, I don't know, I quite like this full. It's got a little tiny dragon with it, with them. So yeah, the Dragon Tarot. Now, Nigel Suckling also did the Fallen Angel Oracle, which I do have, which I do like. So yeah, I'm just putting them away as I go so that it makes me some space. Okay, another, let's have a look. Another deck. Let's do another, yeah, this Cats for All the Earth Tarot. So this deck is strictly cats. Now there's hundreds of cat decks out there. There's some incredible ones. I've got a couple. Oops. Don't really like the box much, but comes up with a good guidebook. Now this is a sort of a sepia toned deck, which I quite like. It's got some great imagery. Very much based on Rider-Waite-Smith. It's a really good deck to work. I like it. It's one of the... I struggled to get a cat deck to start with, and then all of a sudden, once I chose one, other decks sort of started to come in. But yeah, I do like this is a cat deck. I like sort of the characters on them. I like what they're doing. I like that they're actual cats. I don't really like decks. It's just a personal appearance. Now, I know some people like them. There are some great decks out there, but they just don't appeal to me personally. And that's the ones that have cats that are on human bodies. I'm more into cats as cats. I'm not really into animals with human bodies as such. I like to have an animal deck. I like to have it as animals. So I do like this. Again, Rider-Waite-Smith imagery with a bit of a twist. Of course. I mean, there are some differences, but yeah. Very interesting cat. Indeed. So that's Cats Rule the Earth Tarot. Okay, I am actually putting them away as I go, because otherwise I have nowhere to move when it comes to decks. Right. Oh. Animal Wisdom Tarot. Now I know they've changed the name on this deck. Now this is again animals, of all sorts of animals. The titles are slightly different, the suits are different. The guidebooks are great, got some good info in them. Great backings. Right, so we do have different titles for the animals as well, the cards. They are different titles. Sorry, I'm struggling a little bit today. So yeah, I think this is a really another cool deck. Great animal imagery. The images don't tell you really a lot of story, but if you know tarot, you'll definitely have no problem working with this deck. It's not, I don't think it's a very simple deck to work with. I think it definitely takes some work with it, because the imagery is so unique in that it's not Rider-Waite-Smith type imagery, and of course the titles and the suits are all different. So it's definitely a deck that you need to work with a lot and get to really know the cards, spend some time meditating on the animals, spend some quiet time getting to know the cards. It's quite a slow journey, but definitely worth it. If you want to really get to work with this deck. I think this is something that I need to do again. I think because I don't use it enough. I don't use it a lot, but it's a great deck if you can really spend some time getting to know the animals and getting to know the characters, getting to know the tarot cards, what each one actually is, so that you know the basic tarot meanings with the cards, you know which card is which. Definitely with the different court cards, which are slightly different titles, remembering the suits. And you've got like the tower is actually called the quickener, or the serpent. So yeah, it definitely takes you a moment to sort of work through what the cards are. Definitely love the imagery though. But yeah, if you've got the time to work with a new deck, I edged it. If you've actually got some time to work with it, with the deck, definitely worth it to get to work with it. If this is your deck, if you're into animal decks, or you want an animal deck and you're not sure, this is a great one for diving into. If you really want to get into what the animals are and what they mean. Right, let's have a look. Now, okay, Meraki Tarot. Let's do the Oracle decks last. Okay, Meraki, I've got two sets. I've got the bordered and the non-bordered. So this is the bordered one. Got 1 and 3. Editions 1 and 3. Meraki Tarot. Now, this is crystals and animals. Absolutely gorgeous artwork. Very much the same titles, suits, all that thing you don't have a worry about. The imagery is absolutely gorgeous. It's just something very, very special about this deck. It's actually a Kickstarter. One of the Kickstarters that I did. So absolutely gorgeous. Definitely worth diving into, especially if you want to know a little bit more about the crystals that she's included in the cards. You could really spend some time, quality time, looking at this deck and really getting to know it. But very, very easy to work with. I love it. Absolutely love, love, love. I mean, if you know tarot, basically, you'll have no problems with it whatsoever. It's not, you don't have to learn a new suits or new court cards or anything like that. Whoops, there's a card there. Now it does have a couple of extra oracle cards that you can either leave in or take out. Now I know there might have been some changes with, well, there's the bordered version, and then you've got the non one without borders. And they definitely make a difference not having the borders. Oh, there's one of the oracle cards, Obscurity. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful. There's your 3 of Swords, which I think is quite cool. So yeah, I love this deck. You can look at the imagery. You could really, this is a deck that you could spend a long time with. Oh, the Meraki card. So yeah, definitely worth diving into. Good guidebook. which was separate, which came separately, but yeah. Definitely worth diving into. Whew. Any other tarot? What have we got? Oh yes, of course, the rest of the cat. Okay, we've got tarot, we've got the black cats here. Great tarot deck. Again, Rider-Waite Smith with some twists. Yeah, definitely. If you're into cat, if you want a deck that's full with cats, black cat's really different. Yeah, it's just one of those really cool cat decks. Right, the black cat. Now, whoops, the other cat, basically a cat tarot does it. It's mainly pips. Is the tarot familiar? Now it does have like owls and wolves as well, even though it is and the titles are slightly, I mean the cards are still the same. The court cards are still the same, there's no problems there. Yeah, I just feel like this is a really cool, another cool animal deck. Now it's actually quite nice because there's not too much. When you lay the cards out and you get a lot of pip cards, you're not getting a lot of animals, which is kind of cool in a way when it's laid out. If you're looking at sort of what animal is really important to me right now, sort of energy. So I think this is quite a cool little tarot deck as well. This is a Fournier brand, the tarot or publishing deck. So yeah, tarot familiar. So like I said, it's got lots of other animals in it, not just cats. I love the judgment with the cat reading the cards. I think that's really cool. So yeah, cool deck. But it is a pip. It's not a scenic deck. Okay. The New Zealand tarot, New Zealand Naturally Tarot. Now this deck, this animal deck, is New Zealand animals, or animals within New Zealand. Now it does have a couple of extra cards in here as well. Now it does include the New Zealand plants and trees. The titles are slightly different, so we've got branches instead of, or trees instead of wands. We've got waves instead of water. We've got peaks instead of swords, and we have coins instead of pentacles. So yeah, kind of a cool deck indeed. There's Roman numerals in the deck, of course. Now it does have the extra couple of cards like chaos and weird. The weird. So yeah, but like I said, the court cards with the different suits, they only just have the numbers on it with the different colors, so you do have to sort of think about it. 3 of coins, 3 of trees. So yeah, and then you've got the major arcana with the brown borders. So yeah, definitely a cool little deck, found through Game Crafter. So it's easy and it's inexpensive as well. Poker size deck. Okay, I think that was all the tarot. Now, Oracle. Now, this was a Kickstarter tarot oracle. Now, it's not just animals. There are also scenes. Now, these are hand-painted, beautifully done. The guidebook does have the astrological stuff on it, but I don't work with the astrological stuff. And you will get cards that are faced like this as well. Unfortunately, I don't think it's even available now. I mean, if you're lucky, if you get a set from someone who could be selling, but I doubt it. It's such a neat little deck, and it's a lot of work put into it, a lot of hours with his artwork. But yeah, beautifully done, beautifully done indeed. I've got his 3 decks. I've also got his tarot decks as well, which was, oh, I forgot about Tasty Tarot. That's animal as well. I knew I forgot one. So I do have the Tasty Tarot as well. So yeah, cool. I know this is not just all animals. It does have his scenes. It does have the scenes in it. But it has got a lot of animal. It is an animal deck. It's called Echoes of Nature. Beautiful deck indeed. Okay. So I forgot that I do have his Tasty Tarot. So I do have another tarot deck that's animal based. I don't even know what I did with it, to be honest. It'll be around somewhere, but whew. Okay, got Teach Creatures. Now, missing the guidebook. I hope I've got all the cards here. It's hard to know because it doesn't have numbers on them. But this was actually I brought for one of my daughters, and I ended up getting it back, and I love it. Absolutely love it for readings. These are quite good because the affirmations are really good with it. Like you can pull one for a day and just get an affirmation, which I think is quite nice. Like for example, here's the koala bear. Says, I listen to my feelings, which is quite good. Like the shark is, I honor the rules when I feel safe. The owl, I always tell the truth. Dragon, I have everything I need. Now, of course, it's just the dragon lizard. The zebra, I am unique and special. Dog, I am a good friend. Raven, I believe in magic. Spider, I have a choice. Possum, I accept help. Lion, I can do it myself. So I reckon it's mountain lion, I am responsible. Lynx, I only keep good secrets. See, I only keep good secrets. These were great cards for kids. So yeah, Creature Teachers cards. Okay, next is by Hand Me That Pencil. Now I've got a lot of her tarot and oracle decks. Her decks are very feminine, a lot of very feminine based or very witch based decks, very natural energy based decks. She's a New Zealand artist, Justine. Hand Me That Pencil, which you can find on her website. Now this is her animal deck, which has got the animal, it's got a keyword and some words. For example, for the dog says loyal, and then it says all of my relationships are built on equal and solid ground. I am freely there for friends and family, gaining the exact same commitment in return. That's what loyal's being around. Then you've got balance with the zebra. So yeah, really cool little deck. I think it's quite nice to have that keyword plus a little bit of a saying on it when you're doing readings and things. Are quite nice. So a cool little deck for animals. Right. Now I've got another New Zealand deck here, which is going to come with guidebook, but now it's by Holly Rose Brommer, and it's Warua Whakatinana, which is quite a cool little deck. Now it does have plants in it as well, but it is mainly an animal deck with a keyword in it, and of course the guidebook gives you a little bit more information. So it's not a big deck, it's quite a tiny little deck. I got this through Etsy. Unfortunately, I don't think it's available anymore, but it is a cute little deck indeed. Whew. I'm just trying to work through these quite quickly because time, I don't want it to be a long video. Okay, I do have Land and Sky Oracle, which I'm working with at the moment. Yoga, the Yoga Sutras, kind of cool, but energy. Comes with a good guidebook, and it does have some other things in it, but it does also come with a lot of the animals, of course, and the deities and crystals. Just have a little bit more than just animals, but I definitely feel like this is a very much, and it's got a lot of animals in it. So I'm going to class this as an animal deck as well. So a little bit different when working with the Yoga Sutras, but definitely a cool deck. Now, oh, my back. Whew. Now I've got this little one called Animal Guides. This is a little mini deck. It's got the image on the front with the keyword and some words on the back. So this is a black cat, so you can sort of see. This has got Pegasus, so it does have some mystical energy there through it as well. But yeah, I think they're beautiful little imagery. Great little deck. Okay, this dog tarot is not really a tarot deck. I class this more as an oracle. The guidebook is really about communicating with your dog. It wasn't really when I got it, it wasn't really what I wanted. I wanted more of a normal dog tarot, so I'm still on the lookout for getting one of those at some stage. But yeah, I mean, some of the titles are the same, some are a bit different. Doesn't have a lot of it doesn't have all the cards, of course, even though it has a few. So like I said, for me it's more of an oracle deck than a tarot deck. I really want to work with this in a bit of a more of an imagery way, more so than looking at Seven of Bowls and thinking of Seven of Vessels, which I'm talking about choices. I feel like it's very different. So the shelter is about looking for shelter, looking for things. We does have the Fool card. Yeah, I think there is some aspects which you could use as a general tarot reading. The guidebook is quite unique. It does have a bit more into it about what the dog could actually be thinking, or what's actually going on with the dog and that sort of thing. So it's very much a guidebook sort of deck if you want it in that way. The hang dog. You know, what's the dog sacrificing? To me is what I get there. But yeah, Howling at the Moon. Justice, maybe some consequences, maybe there's some stuff going on. Maybe the dog doesn't feel like it's got its justice, or it's being bullied or something. So there's lots of things to look into here with this deck. Like I said, I don't really class this as a tarot deck, more of an oracle, even though I know the meanings of some of the cards as a tarot. I need to sort of dive into it a little bit more and sort of really get to know it. I really pushed it aside because it wasn't really what I was really looking for in regards to tarot and dog tarot. I wanted, like the Cats Rule the Earth sort of tarot deck, sort of, you know, or like the Black Cats, or... So this one here are called Sacred Oracle of Feathers. Now this is a New Zealand deck. Now this is hand painted animals on, and other aspects on feathers. Mainly animals, but it does have some plants, New Zealand plants. It does have a guardian angels as well. It does have the birds with the plants. So absolutely gorgeously done. So this was animals painted on feathers, then printed out, so into a deck. So yeah, beautifully done, absolutely gorgeous. The guidebook's really good too when you want to dive into it a bit further. It does have, like I said, it does have New Zealand plants like the kowhai or New Zealand tree. I like that it's got the animal, it's got a keyword, and then it's got some more keywords underneath. So it does give you a little bit more in depth, that you don't have to read the guidebook. If you're wanting to do a quick reading, you can sort of go, okay, so this is what this card means. How can I expand those keywords into something more? And especially if you've got 2 or 3 cards together, they sort of give you a bit more of a message. So I think it's really well done. I think it's beautifully done. So that's the Sacred Oracle of Feathers. Right. Now I do have the couple of Native, now I find a lot of Native American oracle decks also have a lot of animals in them. Now I can't say that they're strictly animals, of course, like the Native American oracle. It's a Los Carabera one, I think, and yeah, Los Carabera, and it does have other aspects in the cards like the deities, the tools, that sort of thing. So it's not strictly animals, even though the first section is all animals. So you'll find a lot of decks like that, like have sections where there are animals and tools and directions, and so you'll find a lot of Native American decks are like that. A lot of cultural decks are like that when you're working with the animals of that area or that culture. And then you'll find that they have other deities and things that are connected to the animals, and all sorts going on there indeed. So yeah, I think any sort of cultural deck that has animals as part of their collection, I think is quite cool. This one here is the Spirit of the Wheel, meditation cards, and you'll have like the moon cards and the directional cards and the clan cards, all connected to the animals on many levels. So even though this is not strictly an animal deck as such, because it's more about the path, they include animals in many ways, like even Grandmother Moon with the owl here, but the meanings are self-reflections, inner rhythms, and intuition. So it has a description of the moon, for example, or the path, spirit path, or the clan, or the direction. Like north is Waboose, does have the white buffalo on it, and it's got spiritual connection, completion, and wisdom. So yeah, I think these are beautiful, beautiful cards. Even though they're not strictly an animal, it's a Native American oracle deck, but it does very much connect with the animals on many levels. So I think this is a beautiful deck to work with. I don't work with enough of these. The problem is, at the moment, I go through phases where I will pick out some decks that I'm working with a lot. And you'll get a lot of cultural decks, like the Mayan Oracle that I'm working with at the moment. Let me just grab that from here, like the Mayan Oracle here. Now, this is not strictly, again, not strictly, there's the cycle cards, not strictly animals, but there are animals in them, like the eagle, the jaguar, the night bat. So you can see that there are actually, or the turtle. So there are actually animals. There's a hummingbird. I know they're connected to, there's a rabbit and a frog, connected to deities in many ways. Like Emox is connected to the crocodile. So not strictly animal. Ajmak with the owl, Kij with the deer, Bats with the monkey. So yeah, not strictly animal. There's another hummingbird one. There's a dog one. There's a snake, woodpecker, feathered serpent. So yeah, I think this is very much a cultural deck that does include animals, and I think that's kind of interesting there indeed. So you'll find a lot of decks, a lot of tarot and oracle decks that are not strictly animal, but will have a lot of animal stuff in it. Oh. Okay, like I just thought now the Epic Tarot that I was working with at some stage, I don't know what I did with it now, the Epic Tarot has a lot of mystical creatures in it, like the griffin, the dragon, the phoenix, the unicorn. Now another deck that's not strictly animals in the, even though the energy is Lucy Cavendish's Foxfire, the Kitsune Oracle. Now, this hasn't got as such, doesn't really show you the, even though it does show you the, has got a dragon here, has got a fox mask, they're all fox masked. So this is Kitsune. So like I said, it doesn't really show you the foxes, even though this is what this energy is. Not every image has it. The richness within, that's kind of cute. Now, like I said before, it's not really, like, I'm not really into them if they're looking sort of human-like. But, it does still stick to the paws. It doesn't look too... This dragon. There's the fox. It's got wings, fairy. So yeah, there's a lot of fairies and things in this deck as well. A lot of dragon energy. No, it's Firefox Kitsune. Oh, and it does have a sort of a mermaid as well in there. A lot of sort of fairy or elf type of energy. There's the Firefox Kitsune. But for me, Kitsune is very much about a shapeshifter. It's not really fox energy as such. To me, it's like a bit like a shapeshifter. So the human with fox energy, with Kitsune energy. So that's what I sort of feel with this. So there is sort of a bit of a, it's a sort of a interesting deck to work with. There's a few sea ones. I need to look at this deck again. It's funny when you put your decks away for a while. There's a bird. put your decks away for a while, you forget what the imagery is actually like. And it always takes a minute to sort of get back into the imagery. So yeah. So this has got animals in them. And it does have that firefox, that Kitsune, but to me Kitsune is very much a shapeshifter. So yeah. Whew. Dragon Oracle I do have is by Diana Cooper, with the different elements and that with it. It's got a lot on the cards, so they're quite easy to read straight from the deck, straight without going into the guidebook if you don't want to. Of course the guidebook has a lot of great info when you want to dive a little bit further into the dragon energy. So definitely an awesome, this is one I use with the Dragon Tarot when I really want that sort of dragon energy for a reading. The Epic Tarot again has that, must find what I did with it. I know I had it to one side because I was using it, but now I'm not sure what I did with it. It's a Native American Tarot. I don't know what I did with it. It must be in one of the boxes. But anyway, let's have a look. I'm nearly finished here. Okay, Spirit of Animal, Colette Baron Reads. I like it. I like the imagery. I like the messages on the cards. Without diving into the guidebook, it allows me to expand my intuition or expand my thoughts about the animal, messages coming through. The guidebook's good. Nothing wrong with the guidebook at all. Definitely useful when you want to dive a little bit further into the animal or what Colette says about the animals. But I like this deck because there's a lot of cards in this. It's not a small deck to work with. It's not, you know, it hasn't got a small number of cards. I mean, I could go crazy with animal decks. There are an amazing amount of animal tarot and oracle decks, right? There are an amazing range of decks. They've got some amazing animal decks that are just focused on one animal, and they're amazing, like the pandas and the fox and the like I said, cats and dogs, and I mean, they're amazing. But let's have a look. I've got the Oracle of Phoenix. This is the last one we're going to look at today. I could have pulled out the Epic Tarot like I should have, but it only has like the court, not the court cards, the the court cards are the ones with the mystical creatures with that. But anyway, Oracle of Phoenix. Cool deck indeed. Great messages. Again, you can use it with just the keywords, or you can dive into the guidebook for a little bit more information if you wish to. Don't have to when you're doing a quick reading. If you want to dive into it, yeah, it gives you a lot more information, of course. The imagery is great. The colours are lovely. I love this deck. It gives great messages. I've been using it quite a bit on in some readings. So yeah, definitely a wide variety of tarot and oracle. Like I said, there's a huge amount of decks that are not particularly animal decks, but they have an animal aspect to them indeed. Oops, I just lost. For example, even the Primordial Tarot has a few animal cards in the court card. One court card in particular, the animal, which is card number 12. 12 of each suit. Card number 12 of each suit has a different animal on it, and then you'll find a lot of the cards have animals in them anyway. So it's quite a cool, sorry, I didn't even pull it out. So this deck here, I don't want to, for example, this one here, there's quite a lot of cards with animals. I don't want to pull out all this deck because, all the cards, because some of them are not, maybe, it's a very raw, primal energy with the cards. So even though it's not all animals, there are animals, and again, you'll see that they're not, the only one that's really the major is, well, that's the father card, the man card, should I say, the man, woman. But yeah, card number 12 of each suit is the strong animal card. This is what I was actually looking for. Even though are other cards with animals in them, it is card number 12 that's specifically animals in every suit. So I might have pulled them out and not realised. Okay. But yeah, just to give you a brief thought. So like I said, there are decks that are not strictly animal, but do have a very strong card, or a strong number of cards that have animals in them. Anyway, that's it from me. Take care and blessed be.